In this lesson, we'll look at characters 193 through 200 of the 1000 character classic, the 1500-year-old Chinese classic in which no characters are repeated. In the last lesson, we looked at lines 47 and 48, which mention messengers and tools. In this lesson, we'll look at lines 49 and 50, which refer to the dyeing of silk and poetry in praise of sheep. Let's look at line 49 character by character. The first character here means ink or ink stick. The next means sorrow. The third character means thread. The last one here means dye. The translation reads, "Ink mourns the silk's dye." Now let's hear it pronounced. You'll hear it from recording in Korean, Japanese, and Chinese.
목비사염,
목희생,
墨杯丝染
I'll play this one more time.
목비사염,
목희생,
墨杯丝染
On to line 50. The first character here means poetry or poem. The next means praise or compliment. The third character means lamb and is usually combined with the next character. And that character means sheep. So those two together mean lamb. The translation reads, "Poetry praises the lamb." Now let's hear it pronounced.
시찬고양,
시상고요,
诗赞羔羊
I'll play this one more time.
시찬고양,
시상고요,
诗赞羔羊
Let's look at a few radicals or components. There are several I want to mention in this lesson. First, in characters 193 and 199, notice the fire radical. Usually you'll see it like this, but this is how it looks when placed under a character. Next, look at 194. The top part is the not radical, and the lower part is the heart radical. So not plus heart equals sorrow. And that makes sense, doesn't it? Because your heart is not in the right place when you're sorrowful. Then 195 is the radical for thread. The basic character repeats the thread radical on the left and right, but in Japanese the radical is only written once in the standalone version. It's a very common and important radical. Also common is the radical for speech, which we see in 197 and 198. This radical often appears in words relating to communicating language, and it fits here in these characters that mean poetry and praise. Finally, the 200th character is the radical for sheep, and the 199th character includes this. The sheep on top of the fire radical, as you see in this 199th character, this suggests a sacrifice. So here are the two lines from this lesson. Take a look for a few moments and see if you recognize some of the radicals or components. Okay, let's move on. Based on the 8 characters of these two lines, I've come up with a word list. I've tried to select words that are common and relevant to Japanese, Korean, and Chinese. You'll hear the word spoken in English, Korean, Japanese, and Chinese. Pessimism,
비관,
희강,
悲观
pollution,
오염,
오생,
污染
dye,
염색,
染色、
染色
infection,
감염,
感染、
感染
poet,
시인,
詩人、
诗人
to praise,
찬미,
賛美、
赞美
wool,
양모,
羊毛、
羊毛
Okay, have a look one more time at the word list. Which words do you know or not know? In this lesson, we looked at lines 49 and 50. In the next lesson, we'll look at lines 51 and 52. which offer thoughts on how to be noble and saintly.
천자문,
千字文、
千字文，
As always, I remind you that my own knowledge of these languages is not substantial, so if you notice a mistake or omission, let me know in the comments. If you have a question, write it in the comments, and hopefully I or somebody can get back to you. Explore other videos in this channel devoted to the 1000 character classic. I will eventually be introducing all 250 lines of this classic poem. I will also be making videos about my study methods and other aspects of the Chinese, Japanese, and Korean languages. I wish you happy and productive language studies.